whisper from your brain, saying I need help. But here's the truth that most people don't hear in time. Your brain doesn't break overnight. It starves. And sometimes it begins at breakfast. According to the National Institute on Aging, poor nutrition is one of the top contributors to cognitive decline in seniors. Not trauma, not genetics, but what's on your plate. That's why today I want to share with you 10 brain healing superfoods, not supplements, not expensive powders, just natural foods that have been shown by Harvard Health Publishing, WebMD, and Real Simple to boost memory, improve focus, and protect against stroke and Alzheimer's. If even one of these becomes part of your morning habit, you may just give your brain a second chance. Let me ask, have you tried any brain food before? If yes, comment the word yes below. If not yet, comment not yet and stay with me. You might be surprised what's missing from your morning. Number 1, the silent brain crisis. After 60, and what you eat could be fueling it. Let's talk about something that no one warns you about when you turn 60. It's not about forgetting where you put your keys. It's about something deeper, something slower, something that silently chips away at your independence. We call it neuronutritional decline, a quiet crisis that begins in your brain when your body no longer absorbs or uses nutrients the way it used to. And the worst part, it happens gradually, like a dimmer switch turning down the lights. According to Harvard Health Publishing, by the time most adults reach their 60s, their ability to absorb vitamin B12 omega-3 fatty acids and certain antioxidants drops significantly. That means even if you're eating healthy, your brain might not be getting the fuel it needs to stay sharp. Let me share with you the story of my patient, Robert. Robert is 71. He walks his dog every morning. He eats oatmeal with bananas. He rarely complains. But 3 months ago, his daughter brought him to my clinic. He was leaving the stove on. He was calling his grandson by the wrong name. He couldn't finish his crossword puzzles anymore. His MRI showed nothing alarming. His heart was strong. His blood sugar was normal. But then I asked about his diet. No leafy greens, no fish, no eggs. He hadn't eaten an egg in over 10 years because he thought it was bad for cholesterol. He thought bananas were enough. Here's what I told him. And I want you to hear this too. Your brain is not just an organ. It's a living network. And it needs building blocks. Think of it like trying to rebuild a house with no bricks. You can't patch memory with willpower. You need nutrients. Real, specific nutrients. And the older we get, the more intentional we must become. A 2023 study from Tufts University found that seniors with higher blood levels of lutein, a nutrient found in spinach, performed better on memory and attention tests than those with lower levels. But here's the twist. Most seniors aren't deficient because they're lazy or careless. They're deficient because they weren't told what their brain actually needs. That's why I'm here. And that's why this video matters. So let me ask you, gently, have you ever skipped a meal or gone days without eating a green vegetable? Have you ever said, I'm too tired to cook today, or I'll just eat toast and call it a day? If so, you're human. But starting today, we shift, because the foods we avoid after 60 may be the very foods that protect our brain from stroke, confusion, and memory loss. In the next section, I'll show you exactly which foods you should keep on your plate and which to leave behind. But first, comment below. What's one food you eat every day? Believing it's healthy, Let's uncover what's truly helping and what may be quietly hurting your brain. Number 2, blueberries versus bananas. The antioxidant war inside your brain. Let's talk about breakfast. Most people over 60 reach for a banana in the morning. It's familiar, it's soft, it feels safe, but when it comes to your brain, especially your aging brain, not all fruits are created equal. There's a quiet war happening inside your body, a war between oxidative stress and your brain's ability to stay sharp. And in this war, antioxidants are your frontline defense. Now here's where the surprise comes in. Bananas are great for potassium. That's true, but they're not particularly rich in antioxidants that protect the brain. In fact, they rank fairly low on the oxygen radical absorbance capacity ORAC scale, which measures how well a food neutralizes free radicals. Blueberries, on the other hand, are one of the highest ranking antioxidant-rich fruits you can eat. They contain anthocyanins, powerful compounds that give them their deep blue color. These compounds cross the blood-brain barrier, protect neurons, reduce inflammation, and enhance communication between brain cells. That's not just theory. The USDA Human Nutrition Research Center on Aging has studied blueberries extensively. They've shown that regular intake of blueberries can improve memory and delay brain aging by as much as 2.5 years. That's right, 2.5 years. From one small bowl of berries, regularly consumed, the science is clear. Your brain thrives on dark-colored berries, not just sweet yellow fruits. Now, I'm not here to tell you to throw away your bananas. They still help regulate blood pressure and muscle cramps. But I want to invite you to think bigger. Your brain is dealing with microscopic stress every day, from toxins, from sugar, from natural aging, and every meal is a chance to protect it. So tomorrow morning, when you open the fridge, ask yourself, am I feeding my memory or just filling my stomach? Blueberries, blackberries, even a spoon of pomegranate seeds. These are like natural brain armor. And the earlier you build that armor, the stronger your mind can remain even past 70, even into your 80s. Let's be honest, most of us grew up eating to stay full. But now, it's time to eat to stay sharp. So let me ask, what's your go-to breakfast fruit? If it's bananas, say it below. If you've added blueberries before, let me know how you felt after a few weeks. Your answers might inspire someone else to choose differently tomorrow. Number 3, leafy greens aren't all equal. Why spinach helps, but iceberg lettuce doesn't. Let's talk about leafy greens. Everyone says, eat more vegetables, and that's true. But here's the part no one explains. Not all greens are created equal. Just because something is green doesn't mean it's feeding your brain. Take iceberg lettuce. It's crunchy. It's cool. It makes up half of most salads in restaurants. But nutritionally, it's mostly water and fiber, with very little to support your aging brain. Now let's compare that to spinach, kale, or collard greens. These darker leafy greens are rich in vitamin K, lutein, folate, and beta-carotene, all of which support neuronal health, memory, and blood flow to the brain. According to a 2018 study published in Neurology, the official journal of the American Academy of Neurology, older adults who ate 1 1/2 cups of cooked leafy greens daily had brains that functioned as if they were 11 years younger. Let me say that again, 11 years. From something you can steam in under 10 minutes. The reason is simple. Vitamin K helps form sphingolipid special fats that are critical for brain cell structure. Lutein fights inflammation in the brain. Folate supports neurotransmitter production. Beta-carotene protects against oxidative stress. It's a team effort, and iceberg lettuce just doesn't bring enough to the table. Now, some people say, I eat lettuce every day, so I'm doing fine. But when I ask what kind, they usually say, iceberg. And that's where we hit the wall. If you want to eat for your brain, not just your stomach, you need to reach for the darker, deeper greens. It doesn't have to be complicated. A handful of baby spinach in your eggs, a cup of sautéed kale with olive oil, even a spoon of chopped collard greens in your soup. Each one is a step toward preserving memory, balance, and brain function. The truth is, you can't rely on color alone. You have to understand the content. The deeper the color, the deeper the nutrients. And when it comes to leafy greens, your brain needs depth, not just crunch. So ask yourself, what's in your salad? Is it just filler, or is it brain food tomorrow? When you look at your plate, think of it this way. Is this going to help me remember my grandson's name 5 years from now? Because every choice counts. Number 4, the omega-3 breakdown. Why fish fats feed the brain, but only certain ones. Let's take a closer look at something people over 60 hear all the time. Eat more fish, it's good for your brain. But here's the truth. Most people never hear. Not all fish are created equal, and not all fish fats feed your brain. The real magic behind fish lies in something called omega-3 fatty acids, specifically DHA and EPA. These are the two types of omega-3s that directly support brain function, memory, and even mood regulation. Now here's where it gets important. Your body does not make DHA or EPA on its own. You have to get them from what you eat. According to Harvard Chan School of Public Health, DHA makes up about 1/4 of the total fat found in the brain. That's right around 25% of your brain's fat is made of something your body can't produce. Think about that. Your brain is relying on you to give it the materials it needs, and one of the best ways to do that is by eating fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, sardines, trout. These fish are high in natural DHA and EPA, the exact kinds your brain recognizes and uses to rebuild brain cell membranes and reduce inflammation. But here's the twist. Not all seafood gives you what your brain needs. White fish, like tilapia and cod, they're low in omega-3. Fried fish. The high heat destroys many of the healthy fats. Fish sticks or breaded fillets, often packed with trans fats and processed oils. Even worse, many people over 60 avoid fish altogether because they think it's greasy or hard to cook. And so, their brain quietly starves. Let me say this clearly. If your brain isn't getting DHA and EPA, it's missing the very tools it needs to protect itself from aging. That's not a scare tactic, it's simple biology. In a large study published by Neurology in 2022, researchers found that older adults with higher blood levels of DHA had smaller brain shrinkage and performed better on cognitive tests. The difference, just 2 servings of fatty fish per week. That's it. 2 meals a week to slow brain aging. So let me ask you honestly, how many times did you eat fish this past week? Once? None. If you didn't, don't feel bad, you're not alone, but now you know, and knowing is power. You don't need to make a massive change. Just swap out one meal. Try canned wild salmon, add a few sardines to your salad, or cook a piece of trout once a week. Your brain doesn't need perfection. It needs consistency. And it needs the right kind of fat. So next time you walk through the grocery store, ask yourself, am I feeding my brain or forgetting it? Because the longer you feed your brain well, the longer it remembers everything that matters most. Number 5, caffeine and cognition. When your morning coffee turns against you. Let's talk about something sacred for many of us: morning coffee. That warm cup, the smell, the feeling of finally waking up. It's more than a habit, it's a ritual. And for many Americans over 60, it's how the day begins. But here's the truth you might not want to hear. Coffee helps your brain until it doesn't. Caffeine, in moderate doses, can be helpful. It boosts alertness, supports reaction time, and even protects short term memory. But if you're relying on coffee every day, first thing in the morning, before food, your brain may be paying a quiet price. Let me explain. Caffeine stimulates the central nervous system by blocking adenosine, the chemical that tells your brain it's tired. This gives you that wake up buzz. But it also puts your brain in a state of high alert, like hitting the gas pedal before the engine warms up. Now here's the catch after 60. Your brain becomes more sensitive to cortisol, the stress hormone naturally released in the morning. Add caffeine to that mix. You spike cortisol even higher, which can lead to brain fog, anxiety, sleep disturbances, increased blood pressure. According to Johns Hopkins Medicine, excessive caffeine in older adults is linked to reduced deep sleep, which is essential for memory consolidation and emotional balance. And it's not just about how much you drink, it's when you drink it. Drinking coffee on an empty stomach, that's like revving a cold engine with no oil. It triggers blood sugar instability, increased acidity, and can leave your brain feeling foggy by late morning, no matter how awake you felt at 7 a.m. So, what can you do? You don't need to give up your morning coffee. You just need to adjust the timing and quantity. Here's what I recommend as a doctor. Wait at least 45 minutes to 1 hour after waking before your first cup. Eat a small meal first, even just a boiled egg or a few almonds. Limit your intake to one moderate cup, about 8 ounces, especially if you feel jittery or tired in the afternoon. This small shift can make a big difference because caffeine isn't your enemy. Timing is. Your brain needs fuel first, not stimulation. It needs stability before speed. So, next time you reach for that cup, pause and ask, have I fed my brain first? Or am I just trying to outrun my fatigue? There's nothing wrong with loving your morning ritual. But your brain, especially after 60, deserves a gentle start. And here's the irony. Too much caffeine too early can lead to an energy crash, which makes you drink more coffee later, which messes up your sleep, which makes your brain fog worse the next day. It becomes a silent loop. But you can break it with one small change. Just start slow, shift your coffee by an hour, feed your brain something real first, and let that cup work for you, not against you. Number 6, why walnuts are brain-shaped for a reason. Let's talk about one of nature's most curious designs. Have you ever noticed that a walnut looks like a brain? 2 hemispheres, wrinkled folds, a soft, protective shell. It's not just a coincidence, because walnuts don't just look like the brain they feed it. Walnuts are one of the richest plant-based sources of alpha-linolenic acid, ALA, a form of omega-3 fatty acid that helps support brain function and reduce inflammation. While ALA is not as powerful as the DHA found in fatty fish, the body can convert some of it, and for those who don't eat much seafood, walnuts become the next best option. But that's just the beginning. According to UCLA's David Geffen School of Medicine, researchers found that higher walnut consumption was linked to better memory performance, especially in adults over 55. Even more, a 2020 study published in the journal Nutrients found that people who regularly consumed walnuts had stronger working memory, better processing speed, and lower levels of cognitive decline over time. So, what makes walnuts so effective? It's not just the omega-3s. Walnuts are also packed with polyphenols, antioxidants that protect against cellular aging. Vitamin E, which shields brain cells from oxidative damage. Magnesium, crucial for calming the nervous system. Melatonin, a hormone that helps regulate sleep. This combination makes walnuts a natural brain booster supporting memory, sleep, and emotional balance all in one bite. But here's something most people don't know. You don't need to eat a bucket of walnuts. Just one small handful, about 1 ounce per day, is enough to give your brain steady support. That's roughly 7 whole walnuts. You can sprinkle them on oatmeal, add them to a salad, or just keep a small bag near your keys to remind yourself daily. Now, let's be real. Some people say they're too high in fat. But here's the truth. The fat in walnuts is not the enemy. It's the kind of fat your brain needs to stay flexible, calm, and clear. What we should be avoiding is refined fat, the kind in donuts and processed foods. Walnuts. They're from the earth, unprocessed, whole, honest. So next time you look at a walnut, remember, nature gives us clues. The food that looks like your brain might be the very thing your brain has been missing. Let me ask you this. Do you keep any nuts at home? Which kind? Drop your answer in the comments. Because your choice, even a handful, could be the start of sharper days ahead. Number 7. Tiny seeds. Giant impact. What pumpkin seeds do for your brain chemistry. Let's talk about something small that can make a big difference inside your brain. Pumpkin seeds. Yes, those tiny green seeds you might toss aside after Halloween or buy roasted in a trail mix without thinking twice. But inside each of those seeds lies a powerful cocktail of nutrients your brain desperately needs, especially after 60. Pumpkin seeds are rich in 4 critical brain-supporting minerals: zinc, magnesium, iron, copper. Let's break that down. Zinc plays a vital role in nerve signaling. Low levels of zinc have been directly linked to depression and memory loss in older adults. Magnesium helps calm the nervous system. It's the mineral that supports better sleep, reduces anxiety, and helps prevent overstimulation in the brain. Iron carries oxygen to the brain. Without it, brain fog creeps in, and mental fatigue becomes a daily battle. Copper helps control electrical signals in the brain. Too little, and neurons struggle to communicate clearly. Together, these 4 minerals create what I call the neurochemical shield, protecting your brain from everyday stress, emotional strain, and slow cellular decline. But here's the real value pumpkin seeds deliver these minerals in a natural, easy to absorb form. No pills, no supplements. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, just 1 ounce of pumpkin seeds provides about 15% of your daily iron, over 35% of your daily magnesium, and nearly 20% of your daily zinc. That's in just one small handful. You don't need to change your whole life. You just need to add a sprinkle. Now, you might be wondering, do I really need more of these minerals? Well, yes. Most adults over 60 are chronically deficient in at least one of them. The reasons we absorb fewer nutrients with age. Medications can block mineral uptake. And many of us simply don't eat enough foods that contain them. That's why I tell my patients, don't just eat less bad food. Eat more brain-building food. Pumpkin seeds are easy. No cooking, no fuss. You can add them to your oatmeal, a salad, yogurt, or even just keep a small jar by your chair or remote. Now let me ask, when was the last time you ate pumpkin seeds intentionally? not by accident in a snack bag, but on purpose, as part of taking care of your mind. If the answer is not lately, that's okay. Today is a perfect time to begin, because every seed counts. And sometimes it's the tiniest things that make the biggest impact. Number 9, the broccoli trick. How to unlock its brain protective power. Let's talk about a vegetable that's often overlooked or overcooked: broccoli. Some love it, some tolerate it, many steam it into a soft green mush. But what most people don't realize is this broccoli is one of the most powerful brain protective vegetables on your plate if you prepare it the right way. Here's why. Broccoli is rich in vitamin K, a fat-soluble nutrient involved in the formation of sphingolipids, which are essential fats in brain cell membranes. Low vitamin K levels have been associated with cognitive decline and difficulty with verbal memory in older adults. But that's just the beginning. Broccoli also contains sulforaphane, a unique compound found in cruciferous vegetables that activates the brain's detox system. Sulforaphane has been shown in studies from Johns Hopkins University to protect neurons, reduce oxidative stress, and potentially reduce the buildup of amyloid plaques linked to Alzheimer's disease. Here's the challenge. Sulforaphane is extremely sensitive to heat. Boil it too long. Gone, microwave on high. Gone. The secret to unlocking broccoli's full brain boosting power is in how you cook it. So here's what I recommend. Lightly steam broccoli for no more than 5 minutes, just until it turns bright green and slightly tender. Or better yet, chop it raw and let it sit for 10 minutes before cooking. This allows the sulforaphane-producing enzyme to activate. Add a squeeze of lemon or a pinch of mustard seed, both enhance sulforaphane availability. That's it. No complicated recipe, just simple preparation with intention, because what's on your plate isn't just food, it's chemistry. Now let's get honest for a moment. Most people over 60 aren't eating enough cruciferous vegetables. Broccoli, cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, they're often skipped in favor of softer, sweeter foods. But this comes at a cost. Your brain thrives on challenge, and broccoli challenges it in the best way. Not with sugar, not with stimulation, but with nutrients that slow aging from the inside out. So tomorrow, when you see broccoli at the store or in your fridge, pause. Remember this. 5 minutes of steaming could buy you 5 more years of sharper thinking. Let me ask you, how do you usually cook your broccoli? Have you ever tried the 10-minute rest before steaming? Comment below, share your kitchen tip or learning moment, because the more we help each other eat smarter, the longer we all stay sharp together. Number 9, vitamin C and the brain. More than just an immune booster, when most people hear vitamin C, they think of one thing, the immune system, colds, flu, a glass of orange juice. But what if I told you that vitamin C plays a crucial role in protecting your brain, especially as you age, and that many seniors are quietly running low on it without even knowing? Vitamin C isn't just an immune booster. It's a powerful antioxidant that neutralizes free radicals, supports blood vessel integrity, and helps produce key neurotransmitters like dopamine and norepinephrine. These neurotransmitters are essential for focus, mood, and memory. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, vitamin C is highly concentrated in the brain, particularly in the hippocampus, the region responsible for forming new memories. When vitamin C levels are too low, the brain becomes more vulnerable to oxidative stress, inflammation, and faster cognitive decline. A 2020 study in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that older adults with higher blood levels of vitamin C performed significantly better on tests of attention, memory, and language. Yet, here's the quiet issue. Many seniors stop consuming enough fresh fruits and vegetables over time. Why digestive discomfort? Dental issues. Medications that affect appetite. Or the simple habit of skipping meals. Whatever the reason, the result is often a slow drop in vitamin C intake, and the brain slowly loses one of its best protectors. So let's fix that. Citrus fruits, like oranges, tangerines, and grapefruits are rich in vitamin C, but they're not the only option. You can also get high levels of vitamin C from bell peppers, strawberries, kiwi, broccoli, and even cabbage. And here's the good news. You don't need mega doses. Just one medium orange a day can provide over 70 milligrams of vitamin C, more than 75% of the daily recommended amount for older adults. The key is consistency. You wouldn't wash your car once and expect it to stay clean forever. Your brain's the same way. It needs a steady supply, not once a month, but every single day. So let me ask, when was the last time you intentionally added vitamin C to your diet, not for your immune system, but for your mind? If you're not sure, you're not alone, but now you know. And knowing is powerful because every bite of something fresh, every choice to eat colorful produce, is one more step toward keeping your brain awake, aware, and alive. If you've stayed with me this far, I want to say something very simple but deeply important. You're not helpless. Not when it comes to your memory. Not when it comes to your brain. Every bite matters. Every habit shapes your future. And even small steps can protect the most precious part of you, your mind. I know how overwhelming it can feel. There's so much information out there, so many rules, so many fears. But you don't need to change everything overnight. You just need to start somewhere. Maybe it's a handful of walnuts, a bowl of blueberries, or choosing spinach instead of iceberg lettuce. Maybe it's as simple as waiting an hour before drinking your morning coffee. Your brain, even now, is still listening, still adapting, still ready to fight for you, if you give it the tools. And if no one has told you this yet today, you're worth that care. Now, before we finish, I want to leave you with one final question. You've learned what to add to your plate. But what about what needs to come off your plate? There's one food that scientists now believe may speed up brain aging more than almost anything else. It's common. It's quiet. It's in millions of homes across the country. And it might silently raise your risk of dementia. In the next video, we'll talk about it. The number one food to limit to reduce your risk of dementia. Trust me, you don't want to miss that one. So, if you haven't already, tap subscribe, hit the bell, and join me again next time. And if this video helped you even in the smallest way, leave a comment below. Tell me, which one of today's brain foods are you going to try this week? Because every action we take now is one more memory we get to keep later.